There's a lot of hidden gems in the world of indie games, those diamonds in the rough that never got their chance to shine. So grab your shovel and let's get digging, because we're uncovering some Welcome back to Itty Bitty Indies, where we look at games that are small both in length and player count. Let's get started. Developed by Andyland and released on June 7th, 2021, Memochi is... I don't really know. You're presented with a single button and a screen featuring this little creature. Game's already getting some points on the board with this one. Each time you press the button, the scene switches. We see this little fella in school, falling in love, getting severely injured, hanging off a helicopter. Each scene only lasts about a second, the animations and sounds repeating themselves until you click for another one. In all, there are over 100 of these different scenes. Sometimes you'll see 4 new clips in a row, and sometimes you'll see the same ones over and over until the good Lord deigns to bless you with something different. As you continue to click, seeing small little snapshots of this character's life, you learn more about them. You learn their name is Dust. You learn about the girl they had a crush on. You learn about their relationships with their parents. Bullies become friends and friends become partners. You see Dust's gravestone and the single person that visits it. As you uncover more, you get context to previous moments, slowly putting together the pieces to build a picture of who Dust is, or was. And that would be pretty much the whole game. You click the button and learn about Dust's life until you get bored and close it. If it wasn't for the code. Hidden within specific scenes are sets of numbers and letters, 10S, 1A. But when you reach the screen that reveals their purpose, you probably only have like 6 of them, and the numbers go up to 10 at the very least. So you keep clicking, jotting down a code whenever a new scene has one, until eventually you have them all. On the screen with the gravestone, you hold down your mouse and... Okay. Stop! Hidden behind this screen is a message from Dust themselves. And that's for them to tell you, not me. Game's free on itch. Links in the description. Also, Dust he's really cute. I like him. Emerald is a short Game Boy-inspired JRPG developed by Vi 5000 and Maji and released on November 2nd, 2025. It serves as a companion piece to the duo's 2025 track of the same name, and it currently sits at about 20 reviews on Steam. It also has the unfortunate curse of being nearly unsearchable because it shares the name with... We awake in our bed to the sound of a blaring alarm. We move to get out of the sheets, but something holds us back. The screen fills with a flash and battle music swells as you stand before a worm-like beast, a wraith. Your desire to sleep longer. You strike the wraith and it fades away, leaving behind a quiet room and an echo of itself in the corner.
I'll keep you in next time.
We leave the apartment for a sprawling cityscape. Buildings rise high above our vision as a gentle breeze carries dust across the sky. The people who wander the streets are all copies of one another, faceless things making small talk about nothing important. As we wander through the streets and hallways, we encounter more wraiths like the one from before. The things they represent and the places we find them vary. The fear of strangers sits alone in a public park. Fear of a soulless future stands at a desk in an office building. The desire to jump lies in front of a currently unmoving train. These visions are our own, invisible to the people around us. And that's a real shame, because that means they don't get to hear this absolute fucking banger. Some of these wraiths chastise us for bothering to fight them. Others simply beg us to cease our attacks. If you could just stop!
Hammer time! Go!
The game's combat system is simple. You can fight, you can defend, and you can use items. Some wraiths will defeat you again and again and again, each battle becoming a test of how many times you're willing to get up and continue fighting. While we scour the city, we find remnants of a past that our character doesn't want to remember. Photographs and memories of ourselves tucked away in places filled with dust and broken windows. Soon enough, there's only one place left we haven't checked. The train station. As the train roars to life, a figure sits down next to us. He warns us that destroying these wraiths, these fears, is only fighting ourselves. That it won't get them back. The train reaches the 6th stop, and someone gets on. Reality seems to fall apart as we cross the threshold into the next car and eventually reach her. Someone you knew once. Strained laughter fumbles through the air over old memories as she remarks how much you've changed, how strong you've become. She asks if you still live alone. From here, the game's story branches into 5 vastly different canons that change based upon the player's choices. I will warn you though, this game does breach into some very heavy topics, so do keep that in mind if you choose to check it out. Overall, Emerald is a project that, in my opinion, deserves a lot more attention than it has. It takes about 30 minutes to an hour per playthrough, and there's a lot of secrets that I did not cover in this section. So maybe go check it out. I want to take a moment to thank today's sponsor, AB3 by Foob. AB3 is a daily dietary supplement drink mix that combines multivitamin, probiotics, prebiotics, potato biotics, microplastics, a little bit of cum, and superfood right into a single product. AB3 is shown to support good gut health, boost the immune system, and promote your body's sustained energy. I've been proudly drinking AB3 for 3 months now. Thank you so much to AB3 for sponsoring this video. No One Sleep Tonight is a game produced by and released on December 31st, 2025. It currently sits at about 12 reviews on Steam. The game is a collection of playable scenes that all center around a theme. It's nighttime, and nobody is asleep. As the game boots up, we are not greeted by a menu, but an empty room with a title card and a series of objects. A lamp, a computer, a bike, and a radio. The bike brings us to an alleyway where the only goal is to explore. The computer has 4 levels. It loads up a small room with a desktop PC and a large wooden crate lying in front of us. The arrow keys move the box across the monitor, and the real box follows the same path. I wonder if I can... By level 2, there's a spooky monster, bleh! It's not a very hard puzzle game, but the last level took me a few tries. The radio brings us to... Whoa, this is a bit of a jump of intensity. What am I supposed to... okay. Alright. Oh. Each time you complete a scene correctly, a new item will appear, and thus a new minigame. Finding the alley in the bike minigame reveals Kick the Can. Saving the toy in the sniper game reveals a plush rabbit and a parkour-style jumping puzzle. The cell phone immediately drops you into a car bearing down the road. And that's pretty much the gist of the game, though there's still a few more minigames that I didn't share here. No One Sleep Tonight is a bit hard for me to put a genre to, but if you like games that are a bit more experimental, a bit more artsy, it's a really fun one to spend 20 to 30 minutes with. It's free on Steam and the link is in the description. DayDream is a PS1 style horror game developed by Lakua and released on itch.io February 2nd, 2026. You spawn in a sprawling forest with only one guiding message. Wait for the bus. But you don't have to. You could sort of f*** off. The forest is massive. You might spend minutes wandering through the trees, but there's little else to see other than the bus stop, until you spot a towering gray blur in the distance. The cave is calming. Though it's odd to call this pile of rocks a cave, there's no opening, no gaping maw beckoning you inside. As you begin to step away, a rancorous, tearing static crashes through the speakers. The trees around you begin to distort and shake as if the very pixels are being torn apart, but still, something feels off. The sound doesn't stop, the horrid pattern beating itself into your ears as you're left with no other choice. Go to the bus stop. The screen fades back in. It's darker now, but the sound hasn't stopped. A pair of headlights breaks through the darkness as a bus barrels down the road towards you. As soon as it reaches the stop, the bus disappears like a snap of the fingers, replaced by a strange, twitching man. The bus reappears with a loud hiss and drives off into the shadows, and as soon as you look back at the deformed man, he begins to walk into the trees. The man doesn't look at us.
It won't last forever, and you know it. Can't you hear the cracking? It's time to return to reality.
As soon as the text box ends, the camera skews, the controls reverse. Up becomes down, left becomes right. There are no more guiding words. No way to stop the sound. We wander the woods, eyes forced to the sky until our bodies give out. And by that I mean you click the X and close the game. Some of you have probably caught on already that this is not the way the game is intended to go. But I wanted to share it for a reason, which I'll explain a bit later. If you do wait for the bus, a man will step off. Jesus, dude, back off, get away from me. He offers us a warning before his words break down into a single repeated phrase and he walks off into the trees. The game prompts us to wait for the next bus, but a strange humming begins to emanate from somewhere behind the structure. Approaching the spot, we find a single tree rising up and out of the ground as if it were a video on loop. From here, we meet the shaking man again. This time, the bus does not disappear and he does not walk away as he speaks. We are left with the prompt: enjoy the peace and quiet. The sound of the broken tree repeats behind us as a distant wailing joins the chorus. We return to the cave, the source of the new sound. It's loud now, right in our ears. The cave is calming. I don't agree. I don't like that. Once again, the trees begin to distort and the droning from before tears into our ears. None of the sounds have ceased. They mash together in a cacophony that only quiets as you move away, but never ends. We return to the bus stop and somehow fall asleep. Try to fix things. A bus slides across the road, flipped upside down while another trails just behind. They cannot hit you, cannot end this. They slide right through you. Search for something in the forest. A gentle static breaks its way through the noise from somewhere deep in the trees. We make a mad dash chasing the static through trees and the ghostly wailing until we see it. A glowing, static orb. You reach out to touch it. And that is DayDream. Well, the first part. If you want to see the second, you know what you gotta do. Now, why did I include this game when my first run was clearly a buggy mess? Well, because playing it, I had no clue any of that wasn't supposed to happen. The line of what is and isn't scripted here is so blurred, it builds this deep sense of discomfort and uneasiness. DayDream creates horror through the natural uncanniness and unease that comes with a piece of software glitching and falling apart. It breaks a sort of contract of understanding between the player and the game. Through the act of breaking apart, the game itself becomes the antagonist. As far as I know, this is Lakua's first game, and I really hope they make more. The game is buggy, sure, but I really think the bones of what it offers are very, very strong, and I'm excited to see what else they come up with. And that was 4 Itty Bitty Indies. Thank you so much for watching. The links to all these games are in the description, and they're all free. If you have any games you'd like to see me cover, games that you made yourself, let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, Consider subscribing and hitting that bell because YouTube will probably not show you my videos otherwise. See you in the next one.